Hey everybody, George Ohan here with Miss Brooke Greene. I am honored and humbled. She reached out to me and asked about doing an interview for the Financial Literacy Film Festival 2021, and she has accomplished a lot with her life so far. One of the biggest things that stood out to me is graduating a music recording program at Full Sail University. I mean, it's not just the fact that you graduate the program, but you learn so much about music theory, music science, the art of it, the science of it. I mean, you're not just a music recording artist, you're somebody who sees this as how can I contribute my sounds and this music to a film, to some visuals. And a lot of filmmakers that they hate to admit this, but 50% of a movie is audio, like half of it. And a filmmaker hates to say that, but it is true. Half of the film is audio, and many films have been carried because of the proper sounds. So Brooke Greene, I'm happy to be here with you, young lady, and let's talk. Let's do it.
Perfect. Well, thank you for having me. And yes, Full Sail was very difficult. It was like a job in itself. But as far as the film festival, how did you come up? Like, where did the producers and the filmmakers come from? Like, do they come to you? Do you seek them out?
Last year, I said, you know what? I want to do this thing from the ground up. I want to prove something that has never been done before. We had a program called Teach. We still do have a program. It's called Teach, Coach, Mentor. We train the actors, we train the filmmakers, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them. And we did these whole training programs. We found the locations, we found the stories. We put out through Facebook, through everything, like, hey, who's a writer? Who do you know? Who's a, and people were like, hey, I know a writer, tagging people, and we were getting stories. And this stuff's edutainment. It's not meant to be some boring thing about finances. It's financial edutainment. It's education and entertainment. And it's just a little story. Maybe one of the stories had a father, something happened to him, he passed away, but that person happened to be the main breadwinner in the family. And then all of a sudden the next month it's like, who's going to pay the rent for that home? A lot of families go through these types of financial struggles, but in the United States, we really don't need to. Like, there's a lot of things that are set up for us to avoid these types of pitfalls, but there's a huge stigma about talking about money. So the idea was really like, hey, let's create something that brings in this creative community who's pretty bad with money. They always have the starving artist thing going on, and let's connect them with finance people. So what I did was I went and started talking to finance people, people with money, and saying, can you guys executive produce these projects? Well, they didn't know anything about film and entertainment. They're like, well, what's executive producer? And I'm like, you don't need to know about anything. Trust me, I'm the producer. I will get the movie made, and at the end of it, you'll have a movie. And they're like, we just give them money. And I'm like, yes. Okay. And I went from office to office to office, and I actually got 8 films funded in the same day. I've never seen that
Nice.
happen. I don't know another producer who's ever done that, but we got the funding. We went out, we made these movies. And here's the beauty of it. It was early 2020, before the lockdowns for COVID. So that became more special, that all of those people came together on a film set, created a film. This is not some Steven Spielberg, F. Gary Gray, like some amazing thing that you're going to be blown away with, but they're decent, cool little movies. Now, this year's a different story. This year, we put it out there and we said, who's already created a film? Or we went to top film festivals like Florida's Prosperity Fund and Spondulix, and we said, hey, you guys receive financial films every year, edutainment type films. Can we see what you have? So out of their top picks of 3,000 entries, we looked at the top 30 or 40 and we narrowed it down and we picked a couple. And so there's just so many amazing things. Right now we have Jerrica Hinton on the first night, April 2nd, Friday. Jerrica Hinton was the star of Hunters, which is critically acclaimed on Amazon, and she's also on Grey's Anatomy. And now she's in one of our movies for the Financial Literacy Film Festival. Like, it's amazing. So this is what you're a part of now. Believe it or not, the fact that you set up this call, you got me over here, we're doing this, you're part of spreading this positive message. You're part of the building blocks of this, part of the founding stages of it. It only happened 1 year ago. This is our second year. So this is about financial literacy. A lot of people are missing key elements in their life about this stuff. They don't know the rules of money. Okay. If you don't know the rules of money, you might lose at that game. Well, we have
That's
content,
right.
we have video, we have
Hmm.
entertainment, we have music. Instead of all the music that we're creating right now, we got this thing called the Hip Hop Finance Fest. We got Sway Calloway, we got a bunch of other different hosts involved. And imagine this, almost every hip hop song is some kind of blueprint to blow your money. It's not talking about a 401k or savings or this or that. It's not.
Right.
So how, how could we create content that's also catchy, it's also relevant, it's also still catchy, but it has a different message? Can we create a body of work that does that? That's the type of
Of
stuff we're
course.
after here. We're being a
Yeah.
little bit more forward thinking. We're trying to plant seeds that are positive with people.
So speaking of these films, I looked at some of the clips, and I noticed that some of them are, uh, it's a very diverse group of films. Um, and there was one I didn't quite understand. It wasn't in English. Where was that film made? Like Korea, or like it wasn't. It's not English, so
That
I
that,
wasn't.
that film was actually filmed in Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay.
And you know what I love about the story of it, of what we're doing, the body of work that we've created with the Financial Literacy Film Festival, is that we're not going after this diversity thing. We're just like, well, Michelle's just already my friend. She happens to be female, Army veteran, this, that. Like, we just have our people we're just working with. And last year when we did the film festival, we weren't trying to hand pick and choose who it was or what it was, but 5 out of the 8 films had female directors. That's not a woman film festival. It's not a diversity, whatever film festival. It's just because that's just because how it was. And so that can be really telling of a lot of people and the type of projects they work on and the type of projects they create. And so with this film, it had already been selected last year to the Spondulix F5 Florida Prosperity Fund Film Festival, and we loved it. A bunch of our screeners were like, "Whoa, that's a good movie." They said the subtitles moved a little too fast, but they loved the film. They understood it, and to me, the art and the creativity of the film, when you still understand it and you don't know the language of it, oh, they did their job. They
Yeah.
did what they were supposed to do. And so in this particular story, a woman's husband passes away or something happens where they had to move. And so they go through all those hardships after the funeral and all these things. And I'm like, wow, that just fits perfectly. So that film was selected. And then after that, you see all this stuff around the United States, all these Asian hate crimes and all these things. And you're like, dude, what? So we're doing the right thing anyways. And that's kind of who's involved in our circle. Like, you were probably already just doing the right thing anyways, which is why you cross paths with Michelle Murray, which is why she even greenlit you to meet me or meet anybody else. She's like, oh yeah, yeah. One door opens the next door, opens the next door. If you just show up and you're doing the right things anyways, you'll be fine. And that's how we've created
Yeah.
diversity. We're just already just being cool to people. And then it turns out we live in a diverse world and things just come to us. If you're not trying to
Right.
be, if you're being inclusive of anybody and just looking at the stories of like, what's the story? What are we looking for? It was a good fit. It wasn't like, Asian, I don't know, China, ooh. No, it was like, dude, wow, that content fits what we're doing in California. This message,
Yeah.
they made a movie about it in Taiwan. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. That drew me. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't just people in LA. This is people across the world. Like, everybody needs to know about financial literacy. It's not just a black thing, a white thing, an Asian thing. It's a people thing.
It's a global problem. It's a people thing. That's right. And I am trying to connect all 7 continents. I know people think I'm kind of crazy with this, but I don't care what people think. I did get a film from Antarctica.
Really?
Imagine some dude is stationed out there at the army base, a nurse, and he computer generated the whole base. He created it.
Wow.
He taught himself how to do this on YouTube. So you want to talk about financial literacy? The dude saved like $100,000 on a computer graphics education, and he's created this beautiful piece where the government's even reached out to him and said, "Hey, can we use that for our trainings?" So yeah, he's going to be included in our film festival. So now
Oh, that was,
we need
I'm sorry.
Australia, and that's it. Now it's on.
Yeah, that was the guy that was explaining about the different buildings that he,
Joe spins around the world. That guy. We're going to be
yes.
screening that film. It's amazing.
I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Now the one film, I'm still on the films, I'm sorry, but the one film that it looks amazing, like I really want to see it, Smoke and Mirrors. That one,
That thing got my attention because I'm like, where did this guy come up with this story? Like, how? And when I'm talking to the writer director, he's like, oh, that was a real story my uncle told me. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the 70s, there used to be these dudes, they would go around and selling people worm farms. I'm like, worm farms? Like, like, what do you mean? He goes, dude, people bought into him like crazy. It was like the craziest Ponzi, whatever, something. And they would go around churches, they would go around whatever and be like, and the next craze is coming, the worm farms. And people were like, and they would be investing in these things. And so financial literacy, right? It's a cute story. It's like it has me intrigued. It's shot very well. I mean, it just looks like a really good movie. And
yeah,
interesting. Like, yeah, do your due diligence, do your research. Don't just jump into knick knack patty whack because you saw it on the internet because it was a sponsored thing on Instagram, and you're like, oh, dude, do your research. This is your life. This is your bank account. This is your your whole thing. So that's the whole point of the edutainment that we're doing. And Smoke and Mirrors fit that perfectly. And because it's shot so well, I really wanted to introduce that filmmaker to anybody who I know. Like right now, you just saw that movie, you loved it. You might want to reach out and say, hey, man, I like your movies. I want to be making the music to your next movies. And now you will have a relationship with this person. That's how this works.
yeah, that would be amazing because that movie was like, I thought like the worm farm was going to be a metaphor for something.
It's
I
a
didn't.
worm farm and people were buying it. Like, what? Oh, man.
Yeah, that's, but that's how it is nowadays. Like when people would get those emails saying, give me your social security number, send me $600, and then I'll send you 60,000.
If they didn't work, people wouldn't send them. They work.
Exactly.
So somebody's
Exactly.
falling for these.
Yeah, because everybody, instead of getting educated financially, they see these quick get rich schemes and they're like, well, I can make $1,000 in an hour versus me investing it somewhere. See, luckily I have had education on how to invest and how to make retirement and all of that. But there are so many people in my family and that I know who don't know the value of life insurance, who don't know the value of investments, who don't know the value of even a savings account. And like was stated in the other interview, people are paying, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is one step away from being homeless and they just don't know it.
Yeah, we meet a lot of people, and the general situation is most Americans are about four flat tires away from being broke. If they had four flats on the same day, it might be an issue.
Yep.
So if we start to break these stigmas and just make it more okay to talk about it, people go to the gym, they go everywhere, they have a coach, they have a mentor, they have a whatever. We have to make it okay to talk about money. We have to make it okay to say, hey, I don't have any money. I'm broke. It's okay to say that because then maybe more people will be like, well, you too? Oh, you too? Oh, you well, there's something going on here. There's something definitely up. If we're all pretty smart people, we work very hard, we have integrity, we're doing all the right things. How can we all be broke? Like, that's not cool, right? Something must be
Right.
designed to be against us. And so with these films, just like Smoke and Mirrors, we had a good laugh. We were talking about a movie that is the epitome. That's the heart and soul of what the Financial Literacy Film Festival is. We're creating a digital cinema experience the way families used to come together on a Friday, get together and look at the TV together. That's kind of what this is. That's why it's done at 6:30 p.m. every Friday during Financial Literacy Month in April. So everyone can come together, and then I can call you later and we can be like, hey, that was cool, right? Yeah. And then the what, and like we're talking about a date and time and experience that we shared together.
Yeah.
That's going deep. We're providing an entertainment experience. It's not just watch our couple of little janky short films we got going on here. No, this took a lot of humans. It took a lot of energy, a lot of work to create this thing. And oh, by the way, just so everybody knows, I don't get paid for this. I'm not on the clock. There's not a check coming in for doing the Financial Literacy Film Festival. As a matter of fact, yesterday I paid over $1,200 just to secure the platform out of pocket. So I'm paying
Yeah.
to make this happen. Just so people know, the entrepreneur, the investor, the one who has all the skin in the game, the producer is like the one who has all the skin in the game. And then you have to leverage some relationships and different people and things like that. But this isn't a paid gig, you guys. So when people are like, well, what's in it for me if I make you a little influencer video? I'm like, nothing. Go ahead, bro. You're either going to associate your name and your face with final level music and executive producer Hen G Garcia or not. That's your choice. You're either going to
Yeah.
associate your face and likeness with Rootflix, the African Netflix, or the African Film Festival, or Fulton Film Company, or Impact Releasing, or Vetflix, or KMP Entertainment, or not. So it's completely up to you. Right now has been so open compared to like regular 5 years ago, 3 years ago, before COVID. If you tried to go to Hollywood and make all these relationships the way we can right now with just video and a Zoom, it's too easy right now. Too easy.
So my next question is, once the film festival is over and people want to learn more, like what's the next step? Like what do they do?
This is a lifelong relationship. We don't have a thing that you can just come and buy from me. Like I said, I've just invested in this thing because I think it's a good platform to invest in. I think it's a good platform to build. I think there's something here. I don't know what it is, but we certainly should have a home base for disseminating this type of edutainment. After the film festival, in my perfect world, there's going to be different groups of people. Some people are just going to go away because, who cares? It didn't really impact them. Other people are going to want to further their financial literacy. They're going to want information. Well, there's going to be a bunch of financial professionals who are around who are part of this. They should start talking to them probably. It's free, it's a complimentary consultation. They can have a free talk with these people. And at least maybe in 2 years, 3 years from now, when they want to finally make this move, they know a guy, they know a girl. Hey, I know somebody. Yeah, Brooks, she's my girl. She's the one who my referrals go through her for this thing. That's cool. Or you meet a filmmaker, you start a relationship. Really, this is I'm trying to like bring the horse to the water here and be like, hey guys, hey filmmakers, I know you guys hate to talk to real humans, but there's other real humans who are also filmmakers and they're part of this little thing right now. And during this time, while the momentum is here, while it's cool to talk about it, while it's April, while it's Financial Literacy Month, you might want to reach out. You might want to look at every one of those links and send emails and be like, hey, I noticed you're part of the Finlit Film Fest. Me too. I'm supporting them. That's amazing. What else are you working on? You need to make a relationship. You need to figure out, do I vibe with this person? Do we even get along? There's 8 billion, like about 8 billion humans on earth. We can't get along with all of them. We could be
Yeah.
nice, we could be respectful, but we can't just like I don't just my energy doesn't cooperate with everybody. So this film festival gives you a chance to start seeing, who can I vibe with? Who do I click with? Who can I build with? Whose problems do I solve? Ask yourself that question when you're trying to build a relationship with somebody. Hey, can I solve a problem for you? Oh, you don't have music for your films? I can solve that problem.
Yeah. That's good. So if I don't have financial issues and I come to your financial film fest and I end it and I say, this was a really good project. I have, excess amount of cash that I need to give away for tax purposes. Is there a way that people can support you and invest in what you're doing if they really enjoy what you have?
There is a way where people can donate to the nonprofit side of what we're doing. I would not suggest that right now. I would not suggest a cash donation. I would suggest, I would ask them what are they working on? Which organizations are they a part of currently? And I would try to do something for the legacy of that organization. And that would be more helpful because we're never going to run out of filmmakers. We're never going to run out of stories. We're never going to run out of finance people. Financial Literacy Film Festival will live on forever, even without funding, forever. It's just one of these things that's just set up the way I envisioned it, the way I saw it, how it works, because of how we're leveraging each other. This thing is like the blockchain of film festivals. We get a piece from over there, we get a piece from over there, and it's like it works. And we just proved it worked. I mean, I'm the guy doing the audio bumpers. I'm the guy editing the whole thing. I'm the guy uploading it to Qudio. This isn't a big old 30-man team like other film festivals take 30 people to do. It's you and I. It's us creating the content. We're creating the promotional marketing material for this right now. So I would try to see, like, a lot of churches don't know there's ways to put like key person insurance. There's this, there's that. Like, there's ways we can help the community for a legacy for generations with that little bit of money that they would want to donate. We could figure out how they can find out some tax-free or tax advantage savings, some things they could do with their money. I'm not that guy. I'm just like, hey, go talk to the finance guys who are that guy. But we certainly have those relationships. If people want to buy certain equipment because they want to donate to a certain program, we could talk about that. We could do that. We always do things like that. But right now, at the stage we're at with this film festival, I would not be accepting a cash donation because I would rather flip that into us making you more financially literate with your money. Showing you that you don't have to give it away for it to be tax free. You can build something for your children or your children's children or for your community of people. You know, what if there's a trust set up for small business women in that particular zip code or something? There's a lot of things you could do, like things you would never even imagine.
I like that answer, by the way.
Thank you.
So if you're
Yeah, how
a
many people
college
are telling
grad,
you no, we don't want your money,
none,
right?
none,
Because I'm telling you, this
none.
actually works without the money. This is not about,
Yeah,
it doesn't take money to charge this up. It doesn't take money to get this going. And that's how I'm proving it to people. I'm like, oh, creativity is worth a lot more than your money because your money could not create this film festival, but our creativity could.
yeah,
So that's
that's
how
so
I know
good.
it's worth more.
That is so good. So you have a college grad and they come to your film festival and they're like, I have all the time in the world. I can do this, I can do that. Can I donate my time to help out with this film fest?
Maybe
Maybe. Gotcha.
if you've earned it, you know, I don't come from this mindset of like, oh, everybody gets to be an intern. Yeah, we got something going on for everybody. No, because the people who I work with, they're really serious about their families, about their lives, about where they're at in life, what they want to accomplish, their goals. And I will not violate that. I will not dishonor that for anything by mixing up the situation just by bringing in any Joe Blow. I have to make sure you're also on your own path. And I'm not saying you're coming here to do stuff for us or whatever. No, I want to make sure you're already on a trajectory that is good for you. Where I'm not trying to rehab people and make them a good intern or a good filmmaker. No, you already kind of got to be on a little bit of beast mode. You already have to show a little something. If you're not impressing the mentor, you're probably not going to be a mentee.
Yeah, that's
That a
good.
lot of times when people I'm doing these little mentor and mentee type interviews, they think the sad approach of like, well, nobody really cared for me, nobody gave me a chance, everything's been against me, and I'm like, dude, I don't believe that. I can't believe that. Can you imagine how many homes there are in the United States across the whole USA? Right? Imagine how many of them are homes of faith, where there's some grandma, there's some mother, and they just pray for all people. Dear Lord God, please bless all these homes, bless everybody. You're telling me all those millions and millions and millions of prayers, not one of them hit you?
Wow. That's putting it in perspective.
Not one? Not one made you feel good. Not one gave you a little warm butterfly right here in the tummy. Not one. That's messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Like, come on. Nothing made you smile today. You didn't, not once. Man.
Wouldn't want
And
that
that's
life.
too heavy for me. What am I
Yeah.
supposed to do for you then?
Yeah. Don't need that energy.
People approach it wrong. They think they're trying to like talk somebody into helping them, but they're completely destroying their chances because of the words that they're using and how they're pitching themselves.
Yeah. And a lot of people just don't know one taught them, which is sad.
You got to seek. You don't know what you don't know, and that's what this whole financial literacy thing's about. We want to make it a little bit more apparent. We want to break these stigmas of talking about money. We want to make it accessible. Like, hey, there's this lady Brooke, there's this guy George, and they posted this thing on Facebook. And who are we really, like, right? And all these people on Earth, but somebody's going to see that, and that's how it starts.
Yeah. So this kicks off in April.
April
Correct.
2nd, April 9th, April 16th, and April 23rd, every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Which will be
And
9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Perfect.
Good. See, you good. You
And
got
we have 8 films, and they all look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I cannot wait to see them.
We're doing 2 films. We do 2 films every Friday. We have a little intro. We're gonna show a film, talk a little bit about it. We're gonna show the next film, and we're not trying to take up everybody's time. We're just trying to create an experience. We're trying to create something, even if you're halfway paying attention to the films, but the family and you and a friend got together, and you can even email Michelle about it. Email any one of the sponsors. If you're a filmmaker, you should just watch so you could see the logo pop up on the screen, and then that's your right, that's your green light to be like, hey, I seen you streaming on Qudio. That was awesome. Now you have a conversation that I have nothing to do with. You could go make your money. You could go get hired. You could create a career for yourself. I don't get a percentage of that. I'm just trying to create a platform to start conversations.
Yeah, if you're a filmmaker, I need you to come quick in a hurry and watch these films. You do not want to miss this. This will be your chance to get your name out there, just like these filmmakers did. You want to say the link, the website where they can reach you?
Yeah, it'll be on Qudio.com. We'll have it posted with the video there. Yeah, it'll be too easy to contact. And like I said earlier, the music people, if you're in music production, if you're creating music and you don't know what to do with it, you might want to start meeting filmmakers and producers and publishers who work in the film world so they can start to include this stuff. And oh, by the way, we don't mix and master.
I got you.
We don't mix and master. Our audio's terrible. We don't mix and master. Look at my microphone placement over there.
Yeah, that's a podcast microphone.
See what I'm saying? My mic's way over there. I'm talking over here. That should be enough to annoy you.
I did see that. I was like, I don't know.
I'm going to be nice to this dude. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your time. This was really good. Thank you.
This was great. I appreciate it as well.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye.